Welcome back to K-Ratio's Week in Preview. I'm Kyle Lintner and I'm here today to give you actionable insight for the future, not recap the past. In this week's episode, we'll prepare you for the next shift in the U.S. supply chain, and unfortunately that's going to be a downshift. As we've noted in previous episodes, this is the week when the relief efforts to restock grocery store shelves will begin to significantly recede. U.S. freight volumes remain near historic highs, but the cracks in the foundation of this volume surge have begun to fully materialize. This will cause a dramatic turn where volumes and ultimately rates will go. We previously highlighted the volume explosion from markets with a significant warehousing presence, and it's these markets that will first cool off as restocking heads towards normal levels. First, to give you an idea of just how displaced the typical supply chain patterns have become, take a look at this chart that displays the total outbound volume of the entire state of California in white against the total volume output of the entire state of Pennsylvania, the state with less than 1/3 the population of California, in orange. And there's two important takeaways here. One is the striking freefall in late 2019 for California volume as trade tariffs dramatically altered import flows to California ports. The second takeaway is more recent, and that's the massive increase in Pennsylvania volume in March that ultimately exceeds the total output of California. Think about what that does to the nation from a capacity standpoint. Trucks on one coast have lost a large portion of their needs, while the demand for them on the other side of the country has exploded. Now, with a full understanding of the significance in volume as it relates to location, let's take another look at this from a distance standpoint to better understand what type of freight is disappearing. Overall, national volumes in green have dropped 5.6% since peaking on March 23rd, while loads less than 100 miles in distance in white, in which are loads from warehouses to local stores, have fallen 12.6%. This tells us that demand from the consumer for those goods is declining, as this volume is the last leg in the supply chain. What can we do with this knowledge? Well, price and truck capacity don't operate in a vacuum. It takes time to get trucks to where they need to be, and the advertising mechanism that signals this demand is price. This is why we see rates for a lane like Philadelphia to Chicago in green rallying faster and further than a lane like Chicago to Atlanta in blue. Price will rally in markets that demand more capacity and fall off in markets that require less. And what does this mean for this week? Well, markets with warehousing presences like Stockton, Harrisburg, and Columbus will see rates drop, as do the volumes, and there's still likely an oversupply of capacity in those areas because, and this is the important point, those warehouses now need to be restocked themselves. So markets with large production facilities of consumer staples will see a surge in volume and subsequently pull rates higher along with it. Destinations for loads are going to begin to matter less. It's really going to be all about the origin, and that's to require the necessary level of trucks needed to move those loads. And this business will be spot business instead of contract, as predictability in goods production and location of trucks are not currently in unison. This is noted in the continued increase in outbound tender rejections despite the fact that volumes have decreased. But remember, just because the business has gone spot only means it requires a new price. It doesn't necessarily mean it will be priced higher. Now, that determination in price will come from the supply and demand conditions in that specific origin area. So price accordingly. And that goes for all of you out there, shippers, carriers, and 3PLs. I'd like to give a big thank you again to all that participated in our open and ongoing Q&A. We'll continue to offer this while we all settle into this new normal. So please leave your questions in the comments below. You can email them to us or message me directly. And to stay up to date, follow us on LinkedIn, or for more information on risk mitigation, our award-winning freight intelligence platform, or dynamic pricing even in this extreme environment, check us out at k-ratio.com. Thank you again for watching.